Hello there, my name is Alina. I hope you're well today and ready to learn about the passive voice. And before we start, let's take a look at the following sentence. They make delicious food in France. First, let's try to find the subject of the sentence and let's try to identify the tense of this sentence. Now, the subject always comes with the main verb, and in this case, it is they. And the verb is make, so they make. So now let's decide, are we talking about the present or are we talking about the past? We are talking about the present simple because the verb here is in the infinitive form. Now, who performs the action in this sentence? They. People perform the action. They make food. In this case, the subject of the sentence is active. It performs an action. This sentence is active. It is the active voice. Now let's take a look at another sentence. Delicious food is made in France. Once again, let's try to find the subject of this sentence and let's try to identify the tense. The subject, as we have already mentioned, always comes at the beginning of the sentence. In this case, it's food. And the verb is made. Since we have the auxiliary is, we are still talking about the present. Now the subject of the sentence is food. But who performs the action? Who makes food? It is still people. So here the subject of the sentence, food, does not perform the action. It is not active. It receives the action because people perform the action. And this is the passive voice. Now let's take a look at this sentence. Lorena bought some vegetables. Once again, let's try to find the subject of the sentence and let's try to identify the tense. So the verb is in the past form, bought. So we are talking about the past. The subject of the sentence comes before the main verb and it is Lorena. And the action is performed by Lorena as well. Lorena is the one who does the action. So in this case, once again, the subject is active. The subject causes the action. Once again, we are talking about the active voice. Now, in the sentence, vegetables were bought by Lorena. We have the auxiliary were. So we are talking about the past. And the subject in this case is vegetables. But who performs the action? Who bought these vegetables? It is still Lorena. So in this case, once again, the subject, vegetables, do not perform the action. They receive the action which is caused by Lorena. And this is the passive voice. Now look at the following two sentences and try to identify which one is active and which one is passive. The first sentence is cars are driven by people. The subject of this sentence is cars. But cars do not drive themselves. People drive them. So the action is performed by people. The subject, cars, receive the action. So this is the passive voice. In the second sentence, people drive cars. The subject is people and the subject performs the action. So in this case, the subject is active and we have an active sentence. So in this sentence, people drive cars. The subject is people and the object is cars. Now notice what happens with the subject and the object when we transform an active sentence into the passive sentence. In the passive sentence, cars are driven by people. the object of the active sentence becomes the subject, and the subject of the active sentence becomes the object of the passive sentence. So in the passive sentence, the subject and the object exchange their places. Easy, isn't it? So that's it for today. I hope it came of use, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.